Before we dive into this next video, I just want to say thank you all for the recent support, the comments, the likes, and the many of new subscribers here on this channel. Thank you all so much. However, I got some bad news for you all.
Sorry.
YouTube analytics shows me that 95% of you aren't subscribed to Soprano Theories.
Oh, how could you say that?
So, if you could hit that subscribe button, I could maybe bump you up to Captain. Now let's get right into this episode. The relationship between Jackie Jr. and Ralph Cifaretto established due to Ralph dating Jackie's mom, Rosalie. From here, we see Ralph take Jackie under his wing, as he grooms Jackie to sell ecstasy and become somewhat of a soldier in the Soprano family. We see this mentorship and father-son relationship kick in when Ralph brings Jackie along on a routine pit stop to collect money. But nowhere is this father-son relationship more evident than when Ralph explains an old story to Jackie and his friends about how Jackie's father, Jackie Aprile Sr., and Tony made their marks by taking down a card game ran by Feech LaManna. The story serves as inspiration for Jackie and his friends, as they too think pulling off a robbery like this one will also result in them rising up the ranks and eventually becoming a made member of the Soprano family. The irony of the whole situation is that the current boss of the family, Tony, rose to fame by doing the exact same thing that Jackie was killed over. Ironically, Ralph too gave the wannabe gangsters the idea about robbing a card game. After the robbery, while we know it was Eugene Pontecorvo's game, we later discover that Ralph had a piece of the game too.
Your fucking card game.
So did Ralph set up Jackie Jr.'s death and his friends? Possibly. Between Ralph and Tony, the two were competing for Jackie Jr.'s affection, as Jackie looked up to both men from the lifestyle that they lived. Tony is the one who is telling Jackie to stay in school, while Ralph brings Jackie along on a collection stop to bond with him over violence. After all, Ralph was the one who gave Jackie Jr. the gun. It could also possibly be that Ralph was bitter about getting passed over for captain by Furio and was jealous.
I'm putting a friend in over there as captain.
No.
So, in order to become captain, Ralph could hope that Jackie and his friends could take down the game, while also killing two birds in one stone and killing Furio, resulting in Ralph being promoted to captain. We know that during the last few weeks of Jackie's life, Ralph and Rosalie's relationship was on the rocks, as Ralph was sneaking around and cheating on Rosalie with Janice. This could have been a way to get closer to Tony in order for Ralph to become captain, as we see here.
And of course, there's the issue of family. Making her happy wouldn't be the worst thing in the world for my career.
Later on, Ralph's selfishness comes out as he doesn't seem to care for Jackie, but also doesn't really seem to care for Rosalie either, as he uses Jackie Jr.'s death as a way to separate from Rosalie and thus move in with Janice. This setup could definitely be a possibility due to Ralph becoming so happy once leaving Rosalie, but not only did Ralph possibly set up Jackie Jr. on the robbery, but he was also setting Jackie Jr. up for failure in life, as he gave him ecstasy to sell, brought him along on the beatdown, and ultimately gave him his first gun, which got him in trouble with Tony where he bottomed out. In the end, Jackie and his friends have no one to blame about the robbery but themselves, as they were the ones who decided to go with the idea while high off crystal meth. Do you think Ralph set up Jackie Jr.? Let me know down in the comment section below. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to like and subscribe. For more Soprano themed content, keep it locked here, right here on this channel.